afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacaster from your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda Hero Strike, Defender of the Fatherland. Off here to an exciting 1 vs 1 on Samoski winter between the North. We got here Dave fighting for America, freedom, democracy. Rolling out here with the second army division, also clearing out this position held by the Germans under the command of Væringjar. Wait, fighting here for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Forming up here the 15th Panzergrenadier-Division. 2nd Pioneer Company holding the line until more reinforcement can be brought up to push back the Allies. We got a new choice here of rifle company for Dave with double reagents line to seize more territory, but also gives him more options then for upgrading with flamethrowers as soon as he gets the munitions. After the late game, in this case, going to be EC8s and White Phosphorus to really make life miserable that way for Væringjar in defending of Væringjar. As for him, he is going here for triple Pioneer Star. That is pretty ballsy. Like, that's a very aggressive start. The allows to seize a lot of territory, but on the other hand means he can't fight his opponent very efficiently, though. Versus double reaction start, this is going to, I think, be less punished here. So this is a very interesting opening there from Væringjar, to be honest. Very interesting. Again, he sees a lot. They can still build up reasonably fast. He can wire off a lot of stuff. So it'll be interesting to see just how exactly this triple Pioneer build actually works out for him. Grenadiers following up there for Væringjar, quickly popping in there, just make sure it doesn't get surprised or anything like that while he's seizing the point. Almost got the CoH point there, secured the current point here as well. Sandbags going down the CoH point there. Grenadier arriving here. And we got more rifle on the way there. Dave wiring off territory here to make it hard for the opponent to just dig in and threaten this building, meaning Dave can more safely utilize this to cover the northern half of the village. So very good move there. Bit of foresight, of course, means this territory being captured. He's just trying to set up the most, preeminent fighting positions. It doesn't matter too much. Grenadiers moving straight to the centre. That'll be pushed off by the rifle. I mean, he could fight it out, but I don't think tactically this would be very sound for Væringjar. I mean, the Grenadiers basically going to lose here. There's a unit in heavy cover. On North Point being secured, Pioneers might try and get into the church here, catch the rifle off guard, and manage it. Government taking my loss as they push out of cover there. Not so good there for Dave. And the Pioneers can now push in here, push in from the church and head forward. There, Grenadiers could also move in, further pressure the rifleman here. More wire here, third rifle all the way there for Dave, moving up the eastern side with some rear slants. We got the Pioneers moving up here, we got another Pioneer squad moving in there. So an aggressive start again here from Væringjar against Dave, and we'll have to see how Dave reacts to this. We got a second Grenadier squad there for Væringjar, no MD42s at the moment. Pioneers doing some good damage against the rifle support from the Grenadiers. We could see almost wiped there. We could see a wipe. The Pioneers threatening the retreat path. Pioneers are being pushed back here with the re-echelons. No, Rifle will be able to save the pass here. I don't think we'll be able to catch up with them. Wipe them in the south. Pioneers and Rifle fighting out there. Third Rifle squad arriving for Dave. Fuel point secured here for America, freedom and democracy. Væringjar here could now go for an MD42. He could also theoretically go for another Grenadier squad, a mortar, or even a sniper. And he goes for the third Grenadier squad. So triple Pioneers, triple Grenadiers. I can safely say I have never seen this sort of opening from a Wehrmacht player before. So, I mean, definitely in for something unusual. Grenadiers are fighting against reactions. Can't really take much advantage of the while they've just been laid down here, since they're going to lose the range hits of the Grenadiers no matter what. In the south, the rifles stinging about, cutting off resources there for Væringjar. Very good, very good. Reactions falling back, realizing that it's probably not the best fight to keep fighting here. It would be a waste of manpower, and Dave could surely spend his manpower elsewhere better. Back here, we get nothing further on. There could be a captain on the way there for him, could be a lieutenant. He's got both options there open. Both routes are available to him. No flamethrowers as of yet for the echelons, so he does have that option soon. He just needs to get into territory, essentially. There we go. Goes for the flamethrower on the more wounded re-echelons. I probably would have pulled those back to the front line and send them instead, because these are going to very likely die quickly. So it feels like this munitions upgrade is going to be a bit not too useful there right away for Dave. That's just my personal opinion. Of course, it would take time, but it's going to take time for them to then, of course, get reinforced and retreat back. So, I mean, I just don't feel like this is entirely worth it there for Dave. This feels like a sort of hasty sort of make-do decision. I mean, if it was the Soviets connecting merge with them, sure. But he can't. He's not the Soviets, he's the Americans. And the Americans don't merge. Ever. Grenadiers are holding up. Still, he's pushing back here. Væringjar. He's also cutting off the very successfully. Good harassment there for Dave. Sweeping behind Væringjar there. Sniper on the way, so triple Grenadiers, triple Pioneers, and a sniper. We got the ambulance on the way there for Dave. That's going to be needed for sure, hitting the CoH point there, but he's not threatening Dave's resources over here in the west. Reactions have been forgotten for now here by Dave, understandably so. Sniper almost down there for Væringjar and the 15th Panzergrenadier-Division. 2nd Pioneer Company. And some support from other elements as well. Ambulance almost done. Note actual pioneers would largely be equipped like grenadiers this with rifles and light machine guns. Of course, they could likely have pioneer or something machines behind out there for close quarters action. But just a note there. Just a note. Quick kill there, signaling to course to Dave. There's a sniper on the field. Goddamn crowd snipers. Goddamn. In the cuff point there. Fuel pump being finally harassed there. Væringjar goes in. We got Rearson's rifle moving in. Still no tech up for Dave, which is a bit interesting. You'd figure sort of try and push faster against Væringjar, but it might be that the sort of unusual opening for Væringjar is actually throwing Dave's decision making off a bit. And lastly, he's a bit having a harder time trying to, you know, figure out what exactly does he want to go for. Oh, well, no, he actually went for the captain. I'm blind. I'm absolutely blind. Ooh, S-Mine's on the retreat path there. Very good spot there by Væringjar. But I'm blind. I should have seen that captain ages ago. Shame on you, Dane. Shame on you. Pioneers in the cutoff point here. In the southern cutoff point there to regain the fuel. Both players aggressively harassing each other. I imagine Dave's plan is going to be a Stuart light tank here versus Væringjar. Maybe a pack howitzer. And probably some anti-tank guns. Well, obviously he goes for minesweepers next to help deal with the mines that Væringjar will likely be laying out. I mean, he's laying down S-mines. He's definitely not going to be sitting about with the rest of the mines. There you go. Flamethrowers throws out the Krauts. Grab the point here. Heading northwards there to counterattack here with the Pioneers. Got S-mines on that cover point as well. Really good S-mining work there by Væringjar. He's really sitting up there and some really annoying points there for Dave to deal with. He is going for the minesweeper, obviously, but this could certainly make things a bit more awkward, though. In this case, I would say the setup was a bit rushed there, otherwise he probably would have not tried to there, probably shifted more so it actually covered the edge here instead. It's sort of here where it, you know, can be dodged if, like, Dave is paying attention. So, oh, no! Dave's not paying attention! He's actually losing several men to the S-mines. Oof. Risky there, could have set off a few more, but still kind of works out there for Væringjar. Mines being swept here by the calf point. Definitely liking sort of Væringjar's playstyle at the moment. Like, I haven't seen him a lot, but that's definitely unique. That's interesting. He's going to use this as a tier 3 rush, or he's just going to go for tier 2. I mean, it's a bit hard to say because, again, just the sheer, like, composition there of the force is not what you'd expect to see. He's going for light machine guns as well. Leichte Maschinengewehren. Schnell, Ludwig, die leichte Maschinengewehr. Wir müssen die Amerikaner sterben. In der Kopf. But there you go. Carve point resecure. Still needs to get that fuel point here in the south. We got the sun there as the captain. And the captain himself is already deceased. So Dave here can soon go for the steward. He could go for pack house. Meanwhile, mortars could also work out. Other elements. Væringjar is going to use this as part of a tier 3 rush strategy. Very bold. Particularly versus Stuart. That could possibly backfire. Particularly also Dave has actually access to anti-tank guns. I mean, he's gone for Lieutenant. Obviously could have been pressured otherwise, but then once he got the Panzer IV out, there wouldn't be necessarily any anti-tank guns to stop him. So we'll see how it works out though. Also, I mean, interesting selection of mechanized assault and storm docks. I mean, overall what Væringjar he is doing is in many ways just completely off the grid. I mean, this is not the usual sort of meta charts we're following here. Which, of course, makes it more interesting. Of course, also makes it a bit hard for me to sort of fully predict what he's doing and sort of, you know, that. But it makes for interesting commentary for sure. We got wire there being cut. Goddamn Nazis wiring off the doors. Stop doing that, Nazis. Ich spreche nicht English. What did he say? I bet it was Heil Hitler. No, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't say that. I don't know then. I surrender. He was running in the other way. I don't know. I don't speak German. Pioneers being pushed back. Rather than northwards there. Rather than going to these two on the way there for Dave. Point there being secured. Threatening once more Væringjar's fuel. Good play there by Dave. Good play. Stuart almost done. And there we go. Using this captain to supervise and thus pushing out the suit faster. Very good. But really just sort of really great harassment from both players. Telemines down here. Væringjar's obviously anticipating a Stuart being pushed out there. Or some kind of light vehicle. Mining here a really good point for that, to be honest. And he kind of has to because he's got otherwise absolutely no anti-tank. Like he can't even just, you know, con something indoctrinately to guard himself against the Stuart. So if he didn't do that, he'd be in a lot of trouble. There you go. Student next support the captain of the Grenadiers here. Most of the Grenadiers, not the Grenadiers. Not unless the crew members named are Johannens Fritz und Franz, along with little Ludwig. Rifleman Captain Nevis' grenadiers inside the house, light machine guns blazing out there from between the windows, but ultimately they have to fall back. They have to give ground to the armies. Up north here, Pioneers in a very lopsided fight against the Riflemen. They've got the cuff point back. He's got the fuel uncontrolled comparatively. Væringjar's yet to get his point back. Got the Stuart rolling in, engaging the Pioneers. And we got an anti-tank out here. Dave is not kidding himself about what Væringjar's likely aiming for. He's seen only, you know, tier 1 stuff, so a panzer push there is very likely what Væringjar's planning. Obviously from Dave's perspective. We know that is what Væringjar's, you know, pushing for, but Dave isn't us. He's playing the game. So if he actually knew what Væringjar was doing directly, he'd be cheating. Which is bad. Got BAs up there for Dave, some Browning automatics. Could also throw in some bazookas if he feels threatened further there by Væringjar's armour. Once it hits, that is. But overall, Dave's keeping up good pressure maneuvering here. Væringjar trying to keep up as well, trying to push back. Suffering a bit of downtime here as he pushes for the armour. Still no doctrinal choice there. And mine spotted. Good thing the Rearsen's actually arrived on time, otherwise he could actually ended up treating past it. There's a theoretical chance we could set it off with a sort of a rifle grenade, but not enough munition for that. So bad luck there for Væringjar, great for Dave. Absolutely amazing. Victory points wise, Dave's also got a minor lead over Væringjar. We got the flamethrowers there, gaining vets into 2, rifling up support, and the Pioneers rushed away. 15th Panzer Grenadiers, 2nd Pioneer Company, running some issues here versus the Americans' 1st Motorized Rifle Company. And there you go, Rearsen charging force there. Supported by rifles out the house, Grenadiers just vacate the premises. But hitting the north points instead, very good, shift there. Stuart fixed up onto tank and hanging back. There's Davis waiting for something for it to shoot. So far Væringjar's not been pushing out armour. And still no doctrinal choice. Still nothing there. We got a mortar for Dave to bring up some light artillery. No pack howitzers. He could have gone for that, but I guess he just wanted a mortar. Possibly for the smoke. Possibly because it's cheaper. And numerous reasons as to why Dave could be aiming for a mortar. Or the pack howitzer. Of course, might just be prefers the mortar or the pack howitzer. I mean, that's also very much a possibility there. Running through here, up north, Canadians are being overwhelmed here by American firepower. But again, hits the carve point. Pioneers again. Note the S-mount tag's being cleared out. In theory, he could actually consider laying down some extra if he had the munitions. He doesn't. But right now, David getting more and more control of the map here against Væringjar. Væringjar might here be aiming for the Panzer IV. In that regard, Dave doesn't have any armour immediately in sight that is besides the Stuart, a light tank. You will have to go for, I think, another anti-tank to have the best chance of stopping the Panzer IV, and possibly even some bazookas. We'll see what it ends up with here, though, for Dave. This is Væringjar on the 15th. We got Rifleman being with the Pioneers out in the open. The BAR quickly cuts down the Krauts, leaving them frozen stiff on the ice for all eternity. There you go, Stuart moving in, swinging forwards to deliver a quick hit there on the Germans. Væringjar striking the fuel, but there you go. We've got the Panzer IV on the way, hissing in from a nearby Panzer Division, as the 15th Panzer Grenadiers did not have access to Panzers. Any Panzer battalion which they had attached, and which, by the way, they would have had, would have actually been equipped with Stugs. Most Panzer Grenadier divisions, Panzer Battalion, was equipped with Stugs instead of Panzers. In fact, usually they had Stug 4s. There's another fun note there. Grenadiers on the fire from the Stuart, closing in mention to 1. And there we go. Gain that extra star. We got Væringjar continuing to harass behind Dave's line. There you go. Mine finally cleared off the cut-off point there. Dave could consider fuel cache, particularly on the cut-off point here, to make it harder for Væringjar to harass, plus getting more fuel, which will allow him to get out more armor and more armor faster. Meanwhile, though, Væringjar's Panzer IV arrives to the front line. Pinlock machine gun there being added for added lethality against the Yankees. Otto, you get up there. I don't want to. You're the commander. You're supposed to man it, you dumb kopf. So get your head out of there and shoot those Yankees. Apart from there, taking a bit of a heavy hand in there. Grenadiers being pushed back, so I have to pull up. Pioneers bring in as well. Got us up the anti-tank and sort of threaten the area around the Panzer IV reasonably well without assigning itself to get overrun or flanked too badly. 300 points left there for Væringjar as Dave just pulls ahead there. Panzer IV pushing its latter bit there but falls back. Mortar for Væringjar, and we're about still no doctrine there for Væringjar, the Germans. Certainly a bit interesting there. Not entirely sure what Væringjar is planning. We got to take it there for Dave in the 2nd Armoured Division. In the south, MD-42 keeping the fuel point safe there. Noting he's actually later on here gone for 2 MD-42s to help deal with Dave's infantry. And get an overall interesting build order there from Væringjar. He's also back-tech for a lighter mechanized company. Probably to go for Pack 4 to support his Panzer IVs. I mean, there's the possibility of Panzer Grenadiers, but if you're back-taking at this stage, you're much more likely doing it for Pack 40s. Noting none of the other Grenadiers have been equipped with light machine guns, only that one squad, that one team. Rather than those Grenadiers, setting up for something, and we got the Panzer IV being fixed up close to the fuel point. Stuart there sweeping off, falling back, pushing some Germans out into the rope, mortar hammering away, mortar or Major down there for Dave, and too close to the Grenadiers, Panzer fast off. No, of course, in this case he has extra range for them. Might of course been what caught Dave off guard there, and so he might have a harder time just evaluating the range there, but there's extra range on it. It's possible, and there you go. Panzer IV going for the Stuart, punishing Dave effects, setting up particularly in the entertaining way that can't actually sort of cover the Stuart very well. In this case, though, he does fall back here, successfully using shell shock. And there you go, rough flanking, damage engine again, anti-tank is setting up though, low on health, shoots and misses spectacularly, completely missing the mark. Also, fuel cache access has been set up here, but not by the carve point, instead it's close to his base. Instead we got a fighting position covering this particular carve point. So interesting setup there by Dave. It does mean he's going to be getting a bunch of fuel. He's also, of course, going to be harder to harass by several lengths there by Væringjar. Now finds himself going for a Pack 40. Still no doctrine though. Back here, Dave healing, reinforcing. Push for the centre of the Grenadiers, the Pioneers. Come on, Ludwig, you gotta keep the pace. Otherwise, you're gonna get shot by the armies. Stop saying that. I don't like it. Join the armies, there's a lot of things you're not gonna like. Mostly the Americans. Now then, to take them away there for Dave. Still sweeping in here behind the Pioneers. Could try and threaten the cutoff point down there in the south, and there you go. He's about to do the same. He's about to get himself one hell of a surprise. There we go. Straight into the 50 caliber, the Mardus. Nicely manned, and the Pioneers will soon find themselves, I think, pinned down there, but they might actually be able to render the point neutral. No! Just before against render neutral, they get pinned. Around the centre, Væringjar fighting for the centre there. House by house. But not fully successful here versus Dave, who is certainly not having it without a fight. Except now got a bit of fighting around the fuel point here. MD-42 dealing here with the armies as they try to go it back. Very good, very good. We got a mortar nearby though, which could further cause trouble. Further fighting here, stood falling back, rifle being pushed back as well. Pack 40 Grenadiers out in the eyes. Easy targets, mortar there being rushed by the rifles. We've got an MD-42 up here in the church ready to cover. And the other MD-42 they're causing problems and griefs here for Dave's riflemen. Dave's helped some tumble from any tanks. Væringjar could soon push out a second Panzer IV. Could also go for an Ostwind or a Stug. And Dave is close here to a Sherman tank, but most likely is going to aim for the EC-8 here. Particularly if the opponent goes for a lot of Panzer IVs. The EC-8 will, I think, in many ways still be the superior choice. Good rate of fire, good health, good armour, accuracy, and aim it. Captain, they rushed, noting Dave hasn't considered having any bazookas as of yet. Would help a bit here as the Panzer falls and of course support his tanks better. And Dave does not go for it. He does not. Instead, we got a regular Sherman on the way there. Almost got the Panzer away though. But a quick blitzkrieg on its way. We got a Stug on the way there. We got a Stug on the way. Do we have any sort of bazookas going up there? Do not think so. Nope, there you go. Minesweeper team turned into an anti-tank team as well. Very good. That should help here versus the Panzer IV and any other armor. And Sherman there, almost done for Dave. Craft point hit again though, very good harassment, and similarly up north here, hitting the field point. Væringjar cancels the Stug, goes for another Panzer IV. Feeling pretty confident in the situation right now. He doesn't feel like he has to worry about any sort of serious armoured threats. Thus just aiming for the Panzer IVs. They can also much better deal with infantry up here in the east. Still pushing back the Pioneers. We're just being held down here with M4 to go in the southern field point. Gun is passing in here, catching the reactions with the bazookas, forcing them to reveal themselves, of course, and of course tell Væringjar that they are bazooka teams. Oh, bazooka drop. It was Clumsy Bob. And there he goes to it, flanking in here, supported by Captain. Sherman also joining in. No 50 calibers, and we got mortar wiped out. Bit of loss here for Væringjar. Oh, Dave. Panzer IV moving ahead. Grenadiers did take some heavy hits, but so far nothing life-threatening. Panzer IV going in next. Sherman needs to fall back here. Shoots, misses. Got the anti-tank in position, and there we go. Penetrating hit. Panzer IV down to half health. If he could hit shell shot, maybe like to be easily taken out. Ooh, shot bounces. Almost got it. Pack 40 moving in. Direct hit, second Panzer IV moving in. Oh dear. Need to pull back here. Panzer IV veteran 2. Pack 40 veterans 1. That was a very nice engagement there for Dave. And we got the infantry trying to continue to cover the centre here of the map as well, making it harder there for Dave to flank in, maybe finish off the Panzer IV and clear out the pack. And now we got, there we go, Panzer IV being pursued here. Pursuing him, the Sherman almost got it. Taking hits from the anti-tank guns. Gets the Sherman. Oh dear. Seems to be a bit of an issue there with Dave and his anti-tank guns. Bit too close to each other, but we're relying on the Panzer IV to easily outmaneuver. There we go, he's forced them to about. There we got Bazooka 2 moving up there. Rockets flying one and taking it down and gets the Panzer IV. That was rather nasty there. Bit lost there, lost both the Stewart and the Sherman, and only got a single Panzer IV in return. And the one remaining is the Veteran T2-1. So that was a rather series of nasty engagement that did not favour David too much here. He's going to have to be a lot more careful from now on, as I don't think he can afford that many more losses here versus Væringjar. Back here healing reinforcement, preparing for the next big push. Rifle moving forward here for America, freedom, democracy. Fuel being hit, anti-tank hanging back there. Over here healing reinforcement preparation there for the next push there for Dave and democracy. But he's certainly having a much harder time there after losing that Sherman. I do think he should have gone for an EC8. The EC8 would have been much better than that situation as well. Harder to kill and still running better. Rather than MD42 up north here, some damage being done there. Mortars doing what they can. They're not quite enough. We got Rifle getting shot at by like machine guns. Various Grenadiers are now all fully equipped with the LMG-42. In the south here, Dave pushed back Grenadier squad successfully, but overall, everything just seems to be disintegrating here in Dave's hands. 300 points left here for Dave versus Væringjar. And the Scot on the way there for him. He's clearly not too worried about the Panzer IV. He feels like he has to prioritise the infantry, and thus he goes for the Scot. Up north, we got a wipe here. it looks like, I think, a Pioneer squad, yeah. And another Panzer IV there for Væringjar. Who has so far officially decided he's just not worried about any of Dave's armor and just, you know, needs more Panzer IVs. Then a good hit there, almost taking a RAF squad. Scott down there for Dave. The M8 Scott. Sniper them in 19 kills. He hasn't made much of a present of himself, to be honest, that sniper, but that's not to say he hasn't, you know, done nothing at all either. But it certainly doesn't feel like there's been much of a sniper through this fight. Scott moving in there, shooting. It's in from the cannon, or howitzer specifically. Getting a good hit on the MD-42 crew. He could also just smoked it, to be honest. Finally pushes him north, taking out here by the Panzer IV. 70 kills for the Fatherland, 17 kills. And we got a touch strike call in to try and disrupt Dave's attack here through the smaller, narrow corridor there. I think you should have tried aiming for this part of the map, to be honest. March out to lock down your opponent. If you the one who got control, and you're pushing southwards. There you go, Galoo's taking minor losses, but not enough here, I think, to sort of stop Væringjar. But I've gone here for mechanized assault. An interesting choice here, obviously. An interesting choice. Because I don't think he's going to be using much of the doctrine, if at all, so far. I mean, assault gunners just feel off at this stage. The mechanized assault group, yeah. Stuggy, I suppose he could work something out with, and the Tiger of course is a good option. That is, as long as it doesn't lose a lot of tanks very quickly. So I'm not entirely sure why I went for it, besides maybe the artillery barrage, which just feels a bit wasteful. Feels just a bit wasteful. Got a mortar fire still running down here. More artillery there from Væringjar on the 15th, and there we go. We actually got a Stuggy out, so he's not even going to bother with the target. He's not anytime soon. Sturmgeschütz 3 ausführen E. Wilson Southward, taking forward through, they're covering up nicely. Dave in a very precarious situation. Map control is looking increasingly off far in the horizon, and population wise there's certainly also a bit of a difference there. Victory point wise he's almost caught up with Dave as well. There goes Stuggy to the scene. S-mount going off. Stuggy shoots, bounces off the Scots armor. There you go. The Entanglement has no issues with the Stuggy's armor. It has no issues whatsoever. More to find the south. We've got troops being dealt here with machine guns. A lot of light machine, in fact, here from all of Væringjar's grenadiers. Fixing up the Panzer IV. What will Dame in for next? Another Scott, another Sherman, Jackson, EC8. What are Dave's plans here?
We're losing a capture point.
Another Pack 40 for Væringjar. He's taking no chances, it would seem. He's expecting Dave to just dash forward with a, you know, horde of tanks at any moment now. Despite everything, he's definitely focusing on dealing with that. We got the Scott moving up, opening up the grenadiers, and shoots way too high. Up here, Stuggy versus the anti-tank gun. Quick landing, several hits here. Pioneers out in the open. In the south here, Scott seems to be getting a bit close to the landmines by the sound of it. Up north here by the village corner, Panzer IV, they're holding things down for now. Keeping the armors. When there goes Smokescreen here on the centre, is going to push. I think he's going to make a push. At least it looks like it, but the rest of the forces don't quite seem to be in a situation where they actually can push. And we got another two strike here from Væringjar. Meaning any sort of assault that might have been ready to push through the to the centre there has been completely disrupted as they have tried to fall back and reposition overall. Buff moving ahead there. Probably was supposed to be part of the assault there from the other angle, but again, that artillery strike I think pretty much just threw a wrench in all of Dave's works there. He's actually going for a second Scot, so he's pretty confident he can handle the Panther 4s with anti-tank guns, and he's focusing on the lighter and cheaper Scots than murder out the infantry and lay down smoke screens here and there. An interesting strategy there from Dave for sure here in the by the 30-minute mark. We'll have to see how this works out for Dave. We shall have to see. And one anti-tank gun ready there, very, very close to Veteran 3. I don't think he's been using TAG aim at all to increase the line of sight and range of his anti-tank gun. Bit unfortunate start. There we go, more smoke on the centre, but the Panther 4, the infantry, and everything else just make it hard here for Dave to push through. But he's determined to do so. He is determined. Shot bounced, no TAG aim still. Cap moving forwards, and the south the infantry moving forwards, well straight to light machine and wielding gun at the ears. Short Fritz! Shoot them all! Leave no survivors! Not again! Anyways, in the south front, south explosion going off in the centre. Dave continues just to try and grab that point. He's certainly taking a hammering for it. Panther 4's moving in. Stoogie there hanging about in the south of the village. Unit 1, the MD42 correctly went down. We got the Scots falling back here. Panther 4 pulling forwards. He could blitz. We can't strike calling the anti-tank gun. I actually baited into it. Hard to say that, but our way. Anti-tank gun down. That was his most veteran one. Panther 4's going for the Scots here. This could be an absolutely critical blow there to Dave. Losing anti-tank guns and artillery in one gruesome move. And there we go. Væringjar just... and suffer heavily. And there you go, GG, game over. Dave saying he needs to follow his own advice and go for Lieutenant. Lieutenant somewhat was able to pressure, I think, Væringjar much better, certainly. Punish him for just going for tier 3, since the Lieutenant could just push in so much faster, put on more pressure, force them to have to react better, or risk losing a lot of momentum by the time they didn't have tier 3 out. So, in this case, I do think Dave was certainly right there in the end. I think he also could pull off here. The problem was, I think, he went for Sherman and then kind of threw it away. Should have gone for an EC8. I also think sooner bazookas or more BARs would have assisted Dave here in the inside engagement versus Væringjar. But though, I would say both players played pretty well. I must also say Væringjar's build order was pretty interesting. Certainly a somewhat unique strategy in that way, though of course the end game being a Panther 4 rush, though was less surprising as less unique. I would say he made pretty good use of that as well. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, tell a friend, share it with everyone. If you like what I do and wish to support, you can donate or pledge on Patreon. Links in the video description. And this is Imperial Lane signing off, and see you all tomorrow for another episode. Bye.